Despite the lack of direct assistance with the lethal weapons, China has established supplies of microelements for the Russian military industry. The Associated Press writes about this, citing unnamed senior U.S. officials. They said that Russians were likely using machine tool imports from China to boost ballistic missile production. In particular, in 2023, almost 70% of machine tools imported by Russia, worth $900 million, came from China. Also, Chinese and Russian companies were caught in the joint production of unmanned aerial vehicles in Russia.
Beijing is also working with Russia to improve its satellite and other space-based capabilities for use in Ukraine, a development the officials say could in the longer term increase the threat Russia poses across Europe, from an Associated Press publication.
Since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Beijing's ties with Moscow have strengthened, and trade between the countries has more than doubled, from $108 billion in 2020 to $240 billion in 2023, writes Politico. China intends to develop ties with Russia, Chinese President Xi Jinping emphasized at a meeting in Beijing with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in early April.
China always attaches great importance to the development of China-Russia relations and is ready to strengthen bilateral ties with Russia and increase multilateral strategic cooperation within the framework of BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Both countries will show more responsibility and unite countries of the Global South.
Lavrov's visit coincided with the end of 4 days of talks by U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen in Beijing. She threatened Chinese banks and exporters with sanctions for helping export military and dual-use goods to Russia.
We continue to be concerned about the role that any firms, including those in the PRC, are playing in Russia's military procurement. I stress that companies, including those in the PRC, must not provide material support for Russia's war, and that they will face significant consequences if they do.
Previously, the United States imposed sanctions against several Chinese companies for violating the ban on exporting goods to Russia. They can be used in military production, but Beijing has repeatedly stated that it does not supply Russia with weapons or military assistance. At the same time, Washington believes that China is providing military support to the Federation in the war against Ukraine. This issue was discussed during a telephone conversation between U.S. President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Our view is that one of the most game-changing moves available to us at this time to support Ukraine is to persuade China to stop helping Russia reconstitute its military-industrial base. Russia would struggle to sustain its war effort without PRC input, from a Reuters publication citing a senior U.S. official.
Increased support for Russia from China will be discussed by the foreign ministers of the G7 countries. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken will also attend the meeting, which is scheduled from April the 14th to the 19th. This was reported on the State Department website. Blinken will also make an official visit to Beijing in April. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Христина Домбровська, UATV News.